This particular show, as I always do, and just, regardless, I'm always like that when we roll in. I love broing down with everyone. I
Yes.
love knowing the sound man.
Yes.
I always pull the crew together. I learn everyone's names. I always
Yep.
associate their name with the singer of a band so I can remember it. And they always kind of
Yep.
laugh. Like, a guy will be like, all right, my name's Ron. I'm like, Ronnie James Dio. Okay, that's how I remember your name. That's how I do it. And
Right.
at this particular show, we were in this city, and the theater had been remodeled, and the owner of the theater was there, and his brother was working there, this big Italian guy, and then the guy that was running the show was this older, it's probably a guy in his like late 60s, early 70s, and he's like wiry, he has glasses on, and when I say wiry, he's on it, he's going a million miles an hour, he's got his shirt tucked in, and he told me he used to be a car salesman, and then we're going, we're joking about that, and then they're telling me how Warren, up until 1981, there was 80,000 people there. It was happening in Warren.
Come on. Get to the point.
Dude, this is part of the point, bro.
I know.
Okay. All right. I'll get to the point. At the end of the night, the guy goes, "Hey, let's settle." I go, "Okay." Jim is on stage as he always is. My gig is to go settle, to go over all the paperwork. The guy goes, "Let's go settle." Boom. We go into the venue. Now he goes out of the front door. Okay, that's normal. Probably the office is down down in another part of the building. But now we walk down. We go into another door. Behind me, big Italian owner brother of the venue.
So you left the venue. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You're in the venue.
Yes.
Where do you go after the venue? Where does he bring you?
He brings me out the front door into another door attached to the venue to go to the office.
Okay. So now you're walking towards the office. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we go into this door that's in part of the venue. It's a huge theater. And when you go into these old theaters, there's a lot of hallways and doorways, and you can really find yourself getting lost in a maze of staircases and doors and hallways. So now, I can hear your voice, I can hear the laughter, but as I'm getting further and further away, it's getting quieter and quieter. And now I cannot hear you. I don't know where I am in the venue. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. We walk into a door. He opens the door. We walk in, and it's a long, narrow room. I could touch each side of the walls, but it's long. I walk in.
Is it a room or a hallway?
It's an office. It's an office, but it's like a long, narrow office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've made, probably what it was some sort of maybe, I don't know, offside dressing room or something, but it's nice. It's got 2 chairs, it's got a computer. He's got all his work out there, but it's long and narrow. He sits down, he's in front of me. Behind me is Gorilla, Italian guy. This guy, he looked like a dude out of 1970s. He's bald. He's got the mustache. He's got the nice collared shirt on, but like he's not really, he's just smiling.
Did you see The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Which soprano is he?
Tony.
He's Tony?
Yeah, he's as big as Tony for sure.
But he's the Tony guy. Okay.
He's not acting like Tony, but he's definitely as big as Tony. He's like one of those big dudes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So he's behind me, and as we're walking in, as we're walking into the hallway or into the office, wiry guy sits down. The promoter that I'm settling with, so he's in front of me. Big guy's behind me. I don't think anything about it. I don't think anything about it till I look behind me, and like he's standing kind of, there's nowhere for him to go, but he's in front of the door. So in front of me, the big Italian guy, I'm like, is he blocking the door? Or am I just kind of making that up? Because all of a sudden it's starting to be a scene out of like shipping off to Boston, the Scorsese movie where I'm like, wait a minute, like Jack Nicholson, the big guy. I'm like, wait, this is okay, whatever. I'm getting in my head. It's cool. We start settling the show. And as we're settling the show, the wiry guy, the promoter, he's going through all the numbers. Okay, here's your catering, here's this, here's that. And as he's settling the show, he pulls out of his back pocket a pistol in a holster. Very key component. I love how you totally rush everything, and as soon as there's a gun involved, you just start laughing. I love you. I love you so much, bro. I love you. So as he pulls the pistol out, it's in his holster. Now, when he puts the gun on the table, he's not putting it on the table to to like, oh, hey, man, I was sitting on this. It's uncomfortable. He's definitely putting it on the table to let me know, hey, man,
Right.
hey, buddy, I just put a gun, a little 22 in, like, I'm letting you know there you go. I'm letting you know I carry. I'm letting you know you're not in California. I'm letting you know you're in Ohio. I'm letting you know that those 40,000 people that left and brought us down to 30, I'm pissed about it. I'm letting you know, bro, that, I'm letting you know who I am now. And I'm like, okay, so he puts it
Right.
down. And he doesn't say a word to me. He just keeps settling. He keeps settling. But the gun now is where the numbers are. So I can't even see the catering or the coconut water price because there's a pistol covering the numbers. And I'm like, okay, wow, yeah. Now we get to the end and there is, an amount that is owed to Jim Breuer. And there's
Right.
and he says to me, hey buddy, and he looks at me. I'll never forget. He looks up at me and he goes, I'm going to tell you something right now. I have never paid anybody this amount of money, and I've never, ever paid anyone this percentage of the receipts, and ever. And he goes, and this is what he said. He goes, and you need to make a decision. Do you want to deal with this? And he takes the holster, the little brown holster with the little clip and the pistol in there, and scoots it over. Or do you want to deal with this? And he has the check. So right away, I'm like, well, what? Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Like, oh yeah, I'll take the 22, and we call it a night. Like I didn't like it was so weird. And I look down at the little wiry guy, and he's just looking up at me like this. I look over at the Italian dude, and he's just sitting by the door going like this. And he goes, so what? They go, so he goes, what's your decision? And I go, I go, well, being that there's a check here, and you I said you can keep the gun, and I'm gonna take the check, and I say say we call it a night. And he just looks at me, and he looks at the other guy. He goes, are you sure? And I go, yes, I'm sure. I'm gonna go with the check. I'm gonna take the check.
What are you
And then
thinking at this moment?
dude, this is the thing that's so messed up. I was so cooked from everything that's been going on in my life, and just from the last, I don't even know, dude, the last 10 years. I was just like, yeah, sure, we got a gun on the table. It's just part of it. It's all right. Like, it didn't even phase me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Gun? You want I say we just take yeah.
I will take the check. And then they both look at me, and I go, all right, so we're going to do the check. And then they both look at each other, and they start laughing so hard. They're just hysterically laughing. And the guy, the guy in front of the door, the Italian guy, he leans in, he, kind of hugs me, and the little wiry guy goes, man, you should have seen your face. You should have seen your face. Oh man, we had you. And I was like, and let me tell you the part, because I know what you're thinking. They go, we had you, and I go, okay, and I go, wow,
Okay. Okay.
I go, okay, and then,
Okay.
dude, then you ready for this? You can't write this. This is a scene out of a movie. Then you can't write this. The promoter leans down and pulls out a bottle of like Crown Royal,
Yeah.
some whiskey, and he has 3 shots, and he pours 3 shots. So now there's money, there's a gun, and 3 shots of whiskey lined up. And right then I go, you know what, guys?
Song,
I'm
Mike.
gonna call it a night. We got guns, we got whiskey. I'm gonna grab this check. They're like, don't you want your shot? I'm like, no, man, this is all yours. And they start laughing even harder, and they do the shots, and then they go, man, we. The guy goes, man, I really got you. And I was like, yeah. He goes, man, I was really hoping I was gonna settle with Jim. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, we were gonna do this to Jim. I go, you're gonna do this to Jim Breuer? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, yeah, yeah. And they're both laughing. I go, I'm gonna tell you right now, it totally would have ended differently. And that's when they stop laughing. They go, what, it would? I go, oh yeah. Oh, big time. I go,
Yeah.
dude, I get it. Make fun of the California alfalfa sprouts. Hey, bro. Hey, dude, I'm an easy target. I get it. Jim, I go, dude, I'll tell you right now, we would have all been on the news tonight. And they're like, what? And I just walked out.